Rage on that beat, going crazy.
There we go. Good morning, Isabella.
Good morning, Duda.
How you doing today? No, Duda's that's a select.
Good morning, Chris.
Duda is the one to use. That's what nobody calls me Chris. People people that know me call me Duda. It's just because I had 4 roommates in college and we were all Chris. 4.
So you have to differentiate between them, right?
Yeah, nobody ever uses. Well, actually, none of my friends, not even like formal people, still use Duda. That's
really,
That's just I think people have fun saying it.
Yeah.
So, you're at Aaron's today?
Yeah. I'm here today. I was gonna go fishing yesterday. And the forecast said that it was supposed to snow all morning. So I was like, screw that. I woke up, there's no snow, there's no rain, there's no nothing. So I'm like, crap, right? And then I checked the forecast for today last night, and again, supposed to snow all morning, supposed to be freezing. I'm looking out the window right now. It's a beautiful sunny day.
No, thank
So the weatherman has been screwing me over a little bit here. But tomorrow for sure, I think I'm gonna go.
For 1 minute, I almost thought you were in Florida or somewhere weird because the backdrop was
that's a fireplace.
Not any of the backdrops that I expected to see.
No, I'm not at my house, so this is a totally new backdrop.
Cool. All right. Well, I don't need to introduce you to anyone, but I need to do my own introduction for you today, Isabella. All right. So this is about other people. Okay, so this is about Isabella today. So there are a lot of YouTubers out there. A lot of people do fishing YouTube channels now. It's been going on for at least 10 years and longer. Here's what sets Isabella apart from all of those in my mind. Okay, so you have a lot of YouTubers out there that are trying to give people information. They want to be teachers. You've got YouTubers out there that they want to show you how good of an angler there are. You have YouTubers that want to show you a lot of gear and what gear they're using and tips and tricks with that gear, which, I'm a sucker for that stuff. There's a lot of anglers out there that take you fishing and they kind of want to show you how they almost want to show you how they're putting on a school session. And then you've got the guys that are really trying to give you some knowledge. And for me, Isabella, you are none of those things. And this is what I've always liked about Isabella the most. Isabella, here's what she's doing. She's just taking you fishing. That's it. And Isabella, as an angler,
working on it.
You're universal because all you represent is the joy of fishing. That's all it is. It's just the joy. It doesn't matter if someone fishes saltwater, if they fly fish, steelhead, bass, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this core wonder and joy that they get from it. And all Ladybass does is she takes us out, win or lose. Okay, so it's warts and all when you go out with Isabella. It could be a horrible day where everything goes wrong for her, or it could be an amazing day where, everything lines up. But you just take us out and you let the day unfold, and then it just feels like we went out with a friend, and then it ends, and you always feel like you're left in a really good place. And I think that is what defines you, and I think that's what makes you special. Now,
and that's how the whole channel started. It was a hobby, and it still is a hobby, right?
That's what it is. What it is. I don't feel there's a lot of people out there with agendas, and if you have one, I haven't figured out what it is.
Very good at hiding it.
Yeah, you're very good at hiding your agenda because all I feel like you do is you just take us out and show us stuff. And, sometimes you'll throw in some gear, but that just shows that the junkie that you are for gear. And that's one of the things that's really appealing about you. And that's how I found you. I've been fishing for a long time, and I didn't really know. I know it's insane, but for me, YouTube was where I went to like do design tutorials or things about cars. And I still, went fishing like 180 days a year.
Yep.
And I was just flipping through, and I think I was just like, I came across not an unboxing video. I just came across your 2018 Arsenal
video.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was just like, yo, this is so rad. Like, people are just out there like talking about their gear and just being totally casual. And I was like, I'm creative. I'm a designer and I love fishing. I was like, I need to, put myself out there. So I've always said that you were kind of the catalyst for why I even bothered to get on YouTube.
Yep.
And that's why I wanted you to be my inaugural.
I'm sorry.
Guest.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I had an exam in October. I literally could not pull it, but we're good now. We're probably doing it.
Yeah. So here's Isabella in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
You bring the cool of a skater and the stoke of a skater to fishing. Like, you have
a little bit.
No, you've got stoke written all over you when you're on the water. I don't know anybody that gets that fired up. I think Mike Iaconelli is the only person I think that has you beat for stoke when they're on the water.
Yeah, he's a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
He's a whole nother octet, whole nother level.
I know. It's like he's 5 years old every time.
I just finished editing a video actually where I just lost my absolute shit catching a fish. And I haven't done that in a very, very long time.
No, but you can see you're controlling yourself. It's always bubbling up.
Bit. I didn't control myself this video though.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just, is there anything going on right now today that you want to tell anyone about? Like what you're in the middle of or?
No. So pretty much the whole gist of what's going on right now for me, my life is I graduated. I'm working.
Congratulations.
Right,
very proud of you.
You.
I hope my daughter follows in your footsteps with her work ethic. That's another thing about you. Your work ethic is
I work
awesome.
A lot and everything. But I just did an entrance exam. So I'm straight chilling right now.
Okay.
And I didn't fish a lot in October because of that exam.
Right.
So I have had a lot of time in November to fish. So I'm just racking up on fishing days right now and doing a lot of editing.
I've seen a lot of big smallmouth.
Oh yeah, it's the best time of year. One of the best times of year to fish up here. The smallmouth move in to kind of their like staging spots before the winter. And they're just feeding up on everything and anything. And they get these huge like pot bellies and everything.
I've noticed on your social media a lot of footballs. And every time I see one, I'm like, is that like a 6'9"? Are we like, is that a 6'10"? Like when?
So
you're flirting with
we take great photos over here. They're not all 6-pounders. I did catch my personal best last week, which was 6:03, like just a hair over 6.
Okay.
I was out solo. I was super, super stoked. I had this curse following me for the past 4 or 5 years actually since I started fishing. So the second year I got into fishing, like I met a lot of my friends and all of that. Yeah, knock on wood. I was out with my buddy and I caught my personal best smallmouth, which is 580, so 5 pounds or 580. Yeah, 580. And every single year since then, I've been catching multiple 580s every year.
That seems impossible.
It's consistency. It's a curse. It's actually a curse. So I was like, there's no, like, how am I not breaking 6 pounds? Like, I didn't even want a 590 at that point. I was like, how am I not catching a 6-pounder? So I went out solo last week for the first time in like, God knows how long. And first cast, I caught my 6-pounder. So curse is broken. Now we're moving up to 7, hopefully.
Is that video up yet?
Yeah, I just posted it a couple of days ago.
Don't be mad at me.
It's okay.
Busy
we're all
weekend.
busy.
I'll watch it though.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a crapshoot filming it because like I don't have spot lock, and so I was trying to move the boat around and filming by myself. But yeah, you can see me holding it up on the scale, and it's like taking 580, 590. 603. I'm like, and then my mouth just opens because I did not think it was gonna go 6.
Well, I knew it would happen, but it can be a
Yeah.
long time. You know, I was talking
Yeah.
to Brian the carpenter 2 weeks ago. His PB, he caught it when he was in 8th grade.
Holy.
And
Wow.
you know how much he fishes.
Yeah.
You know
A
who he
lot.
fishes with, and he still hasn't broken it.
Yeah.
And my PB was in 1993. So
Yeah.
smallmouth and largemouth, both of
I
them
I
were in
think it has a
93.
lot to do with just luck,
Yeah,
honestly. So
but I know, but just the fact that you're always almost matching that number,
I
that's
know.
almost
And
that's
like
almost harder to do than to catch a giant.
I know. I
What are
I
the
know.
odds?
It's like it's been like 580 to 587 constantly. Like,
Yep.
and the thing is, it's not even that I'm not around those big fish. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was on the boat with my buddy Josh. He caught a 680. Like I'm around those fish. It's
Yeah,
just
you
luck
are.
at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, the
So
580s, like, no, you're bait. And they're like, this is a 580 bait. Let's go to this.
yeah. Let's move up a size.
All right. So Isabella, there's a few things I like to do with people. It's things that you might not cover. Like I said, your channel's really casual, and that's
Yeah.
what I hope never changes about it. It's just, you take people fishing, but I like to know, I like to give people a little bit of insight. So, and these don't have to be long answers, but
Okay.
what got you first interested in angling? Was it a family member, or was it just something that like you found on your own running around in the woods as a kid?
It's a little bit of both, actually. So
Mhm.
my family's Polish. My parents immigrated from Poland before I was born,
Okay.
and we used to go back every like 2 or 3 years when I was younger. Didn't have too many commitments and such. Now we go back every like 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Haven't obviously come back because of COVID right now. But when I was probably 13 or 14 years old, we went to Poland, and my uncle actually has this like farm pond.
Yeah.
Fishing in Europe is totally different. It's all like it's just totally there's no like public waters really to fish.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least
Yeah.
where my family's from. So my uncle has a stocked pond pretty much where he stocks it, he fishes it, and he eats the fish pretty much.
Right. And it's like
So
all like European.
yeah,
weird-
there's like carps, there's suckers, there's a lot of
Right.
catfish. We fry catfish up. No perch in that pond. That's something I actually had been wanting to catch, a European perch. But either way,
Yeah.
I've been fishing that pond for my whole life. Like whenever we go to that pond. We all go fishing. We fry up the fish. So when I was 13 or 14 years old, this is when I first started like realizing kind of what I was doing. You know what I mean? Because as
Okay,
a
yeah.
child, you don't really know what you're doing.
No.
But I was like trying to learn the technique a little bit here, trying to like pinpoint my casts. And that day, I ended up catching a pretty fairly bigger size carp. It was pulling my
Right.
drag. I was fighting it, trying to get it in. And that adrenaline rush, I guess, kind of sparked everything
Yeah.
in me. So when I came back to Canada, I'm very lucky. My parents actually have a lake house.
Yeah.
And
lined up.
ready to go. So I kind of started getting a little bit more interested in the whole fishing scene. My parents don't fish. I didn't know anyone
Yep.
that fished here in Canada. So I took to the internet. I took to YouTube. One of the first guys I ever probably watched was Fluke Master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fluke Master. Started doing my research, learned about bass species. That was kind of the first videos that I've seen. So I guess that's why I kind of tailored to that species in the beginning.
Yeah.
But learned a little bit about bass species, got some Senkos, got some hooks, got a rod and reel from like Walmart, and hit the lake. And that's how it started, in a little paddleboard.
All right. So Isabella, you're totally self-made. That's a self-made story.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Well,
my
internet,
parents.
but yeah.
No, but that's self-made
Yeah.
because when I was a kid, we didn't have internet. So it was magazines
Yeah.
and Bill Dance.
And Bill Dance.
Bill Dance, Roland Martin, those guys on Sunday mornings on TV.
Yeah.
And I'm here in Eastern Pennsylvania, which isn't exactly Bill Dance territory.
Yeah.
So I had to learn the hard way because everything that these southern anglers were using on these big impoundments just
Totally different.
it doesn't work up here in the north.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to just tailor stuff to like, I mean, even the magazines didn't really cater that much
To
to
the East
people.
Coast and stuff.
No, it's different here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like a giant here is like 7.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not, you know, I'm in
I feel like
southeastern
we have a
PA.
very similar
Perch,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, deep for us is like really deep's like 20. You know, there's
Okay, never
some.
mind. We have like 200 feet lakes here.
Yeah, well, well, you have more glacier lakes
Yes,
near you.
yeah.
We have
got
a
the
few
Rocky.
that get real deep, but
Yeah.
I'm saying on average, like super deep's like 20. So you answered 2 of my questions. Actually, you
Perfect.
answered 3 because I was going to ask you your first significant catch, which we now
That
know,
carp. Yeah.
and your first setup.
I
And
don't
then,
even know.
well, yeah, it was whatever you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine was at like a discount store too when I was a
Yeah.
kid. I didn't have parents that fished. I just lived near like literally 50 yards from a canal that had pike. Well, I don't know if it had northern pike and bass in it.
Okay.
And it's like a 60-mile canal. So, you know, and it's like at its best 4 or 5 feet deep in the very middle.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was right across the street. So I would run over there after school across the street because it was like mysterious. Like, what are these weird animals? All right. So, you know, maybe some people don't know this. I want to know.
Okay.
What's your favorite way to catch bass? Your favorite way? Like if there's one way that's like the most fun for you. I mean, I think I know what
if there's
your
one
answer.
way that the fish would bite all the time and I could catch fish all the time.
That's what I want.
It would be big swim baiting.
Big swim baiting.
Like glide baits, rats, crank downs.
2 years ago, would it have been a jig?
3 years ago, probably would have been a jig. 3 years ago. Yeah.
So the big glide bait bite, you like when they T-bone it and you can feel it rattle, right?
There is nothing like it.
Yeah, there's a rattle.
Not even bass, even pike. Recently, lake trout. I don't know if you watched that video. That was the most insane day of fishing of my life. I was jigging glide baits for lake trout in 100 feet of water.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like the way they hit a glide bait. It's so aggressive. Even if they aren't on, they just hit it so aggressively.
They do. It's almost always a T-bone.
It's scary.
Well, you know what it's like? It's the same way they hit a jerk bait, because that's my favorite bite is a jerk bait bite, because it's always like, no matter how far out the jerk bait is, you always feel like you can hear the plastic and the hooks rattling, and it always seems like it's sideways, even though I know it's not. You just, I feel like I can hear it, even if it's like a 40 yard cast. I just feel like I can hear those hooks rattling underwater. So a glide bait's kind of like a supersized jerk bait, where it's like that big hard bait, crunchy, jingly.
It's
T-boning.
also, for me, I feel like it's also a little bit of the draw of collecting the baits. I'm not a huge collector because I fish with all of the. I should rephrase that. I am a collector, but I fish with everything that I have.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the whole just being in that swim bait community also has a draw to it to me. It's just a lot of fun.
It's toys for adults.
It's toys for adults.
Let's be honest here. Yeah. We're not going to Toys R Us to buy stuff anymore. So when we get these big shiny,
we're trying to get on swim bait drops.
Yeah, and they're shiny, they're pretty, they're cool. They're kind of like limited edition action figures that. But I used to be sort of a collector when it came to sneakers, and I had a moment where I realized I had a closet full of unworn sneakers, and I was like, what are these gonna do?
Yeah.
They're not doing anything. Like, it's time to start wearing these things and stop. I've got like a few that I don't touch, but everything else just can't. I was like, no more. And then the same thing with gear. I use it all. I'm not sitting on and stashing stuff.
No, I get the people that do.
I get it. I get
it. But at the same time, if I'm going to buy something, if I'm going to spend my money on something, I want to get the gratification of fishing it and catching.
Yeah, because if it's this beautiful thing that you spent money on and you spent $80 or $200 on it, like having a picture of a fish that was fooled by it is even more satisfying than having it tucked up in your closet shelf.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So definitely swim baiting for me. Just It's just so exciting.
Okay, that's something I'm learning now, and I think I've seen like of all your almost 300 videos. I believe you're closing in on like 300.
I have no idea. Probably
Dude, it's a
400
lot.
at this point. After November, probably 400.
Dude, it's a ton. I think I've seen like easily 95% of them, because it used to be
I believe
like
you. Yeah. I
dinner.
get text messages every week.
Yeah. Because it
What's
was
the
like
rod and
dinner
reel?
time. Yeah, dinner time. You know,
Yeah.
I sit down, kids are done their homework. I put on the TV, and like my TV, I cut the cord on cable 8 years ago. So I have an Apple TV hooked up to the television.
Perfect.
And you know, for me, it's all my favorite YouTube stuff comes up, and that would always be one. And I'm like, all right, time to eat dinner and catch up on what Isabella's doing. All right, here's another thing I think a lot of your fans would like to know.
Okay.
You're stranded, and the
Okay.
only thing there is to eat is bass. There's nothing else. There's no birds. There's no trout. There's no steelhead. There's no panfish, and you need to eat. What are you gonna catch bass with? We're in survival mode now.
Do I have any gear with me?
You've got one spool of any pound test you want.
Okay.
Okay. And you've got your terminal tackle, like one piece of terminal tackle.
Okay.
Or one bait. If we're just talking, Isabella's got to go out and survive and eat bass.
What I would do is grab some 10-pound fluorocarbon.
Okay.
Good old 10-pound fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
Get a little wide gap hook.
Okay.
Get a nice piece of grass or straw and wacky rig it and send it.
All right. Now we're saying wacky rig because
wacky. Right, no, it has to be wacky rig.
Yeah, no, that was Brian the Carpenter's answer too.
Yeah.
Was the wacky rig. And it's mine too. I think for me, I would, and it's the boringest way to fish.
I actually don't think I fished a Senko this year, to be honest with you, at all.
This
summer.
I did like once
or twice. Worms, but not Senkos.
I did once or twice.
Yeah.
And I think I only caught one fish on a wacky rig this whole summer. For me, this summer was all about jerk baits.
Yeah, I noticed.
I don't know what it was. It was jerk baits and drop shots all summer. That was it. That was
I got Aaron on the back of the boat checking a Senko all the time, so there's no point in me throwing it too.
No, no, it's that.
I'm kidding.
It's a devastating lure. No, let's keep that rumor afloat. It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
We need to tease him. Okay, so we've discussed your favorite. I know. You know, I think there's a problem with the Nestea.
It has to be an ST. It can't be
no. But it's not anywhere. You can't get cans of that anywhere on from any supermarket.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing then.
Who distributes it? It's gonna say like Lipton, Coke.
Like Coke. It's a Coke brand.
Yeah, I don't think they're distributing it in the US right now.
Coca-Cola Canada.
Yeah, I don't think
Nestle.
I think it's a Canada thing right now. You know how like some brands they shift them? Like they shift them. Like I'm telling you, you can't find that anywhere.
Well,
I think you can.
I can tell you what, I'm not going to the States anytime soon.
No, or you're gonna have to just send a case ahead before you get wherever you're going.
No, it's really bad. It's a really bad addiction.
Well, I know, but
I did cut out candy for it because I got to the point where I was like, I can't eat candy and drink this on a daily.
No,
so,
but this is one of my, I know, I always have a cup of coffee in my hand all day.
Yeah.
Isabella, least way to target bass?
Least favorite?
Yeah, what's the least favorite way to catch them?
Probably being at that point in the day where you can't necessarily find them. You can't really necessarily pattern them, like you just don't know where they are,
right?
And you get to the point where like, shit, I gotta tie on like a Senko. Like it's not, I don't mind fishing a Senko or like a Texas rig Senko or like a worm or something like that. It's just having to get to that point in the day that kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
It's a desperation lure, and it does work, but there's just something about what makes it work so well is
just finesse.
It's the fall though.
Yeah.
It really, like, I never really understood people that Texas rigged it on, like, you know, a 1/4 ounce sinker with like a 5/0 hook.
Yeah.
For me, it's the weightlessness and how when it's weightless, the shimmy on the fall. Yeah. So I think that's why it puts us all to sleep,
Yeah.
because, you know, when you're fishing, you're like, oh, like I gotta wait, like I'm in, you know, like it's one thing in like 2 feet of water to wait for it to hit the
Yeah.
bottom, but it's like another thing when you're in like 5 or 6 feet. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
dude,
Don't get me wrong. It has saved the day multiple
Yep.
times.
Oh,
It
no.
catches fish. I just don't like getting to the point where I'm like, okay, they won't buy the jig. I can't get them
Yeah,
on like
no,
a
if
top
I
water or
have,
chatterbait. You know what I mean?
it catches bigs
Hmm.
too, like big fish,
Yeah,
like
I agree.
really big fish. All right, Isabella,
Yeah.
ideal day of fishing. I want the sky, like sort of the water conditions. I want
Okay.
temperature, season. Is there like a, if you could create like if you could get transported to a specific time of day and like you could just have everything how you kind of want it. Is there
Okay.
a
Okay.
season? A
It would have to probably be October. I
okay.
would say October, or like, because we have bass season here,
I know
which really sucks.
it does.
Yeah, MNR started opening up a couple of areas for like early catch and release, which
Yep.
we did last year, which was so much fun. So it'd either have to be October or like May.
Yeah.
Let's go with October because we can actually fish bass in October. I would say October, sunny day, but partly cloudy. There has to
Like
be
when
clouds.
the clouds are moving and making
Yeah,
those moving
yeah.
shadows.
But
Yeah.
we need clouds. We need
Yeah.
clouds.
I know. It's so odd, but you do.
It's full like bluebird skies this year. Not it for me. But on the
Same here.
warmer side of October weather,
Mhm.
a nice little brisk wind, not too windy, but like there has to be a little bit of a ripple.
10 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know what that is in kilometers an hour, but sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
yeah,
I
it's
know
okay.
we're the one backwards country in the entire
Yeah, no, it's
globe.
fine, it's fine. But like, I want to be wearing a hoodie, but not have to be wearing a hoodie, like a
Yeah.
warmer day for October, and then like a nice fat patch of milfoil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, that's, yeah, I know. There's like, you know, there are just ideal days like that.
yeah.
All right. So speaking of that ideal day, this is sort of related to that.
Okay.
If I told you, you know, we're both real busy with work and other things, and we have lives, and it's tough. You know, I mean, lately it seems like you've been getting out a lot, but it's not easy
Yeah.
to always get out. If I could guarantee you for the rest of your life, I said, look, you have to sign up on this sign up sheet. Okay. You get a 4-hour window for
Okay.
the rest of your life to fish, and it's
Okay.
yours,
Okay.
and no one could bother you. Work, family, friends, like nothing can interfere with that 4 hours. You get to set aside 4 hours a day for the rest of your life, where it's like Isabella is totally
Free.
free for these 4 hours. You know, like the government knows it, work knows it, private industry knows it. Everyone knows that those 4 hours are yours, and you'll never get in trouble for being out on the water those 4 hours. Do you have a 4-hour window that's like you would pick?
Yeah. Half an hour before sunrise and then 4 hours on, or 3.5 hours on.
Okay. It's very similar to Brian the Carpenter's answer too.
Yeah.
You guys both like that cracking of the
Yeah.
sun over the horizon.
I don't like getting up for it.
No,
But it's like
awful.
it's just they just bite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
Either
tough.
that or the summertime. The summertime I do very well, like right before the sun sets, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to be a super fall, not fall. Why am I saying fall? Evening fisherman when I was younger. I thought that was like the juice.
Yeah.
Was like, you know, sunset. And now I think it's the morning, you know, anything before really 11.
Yeah. Well, you'll see my in my next couple of videos I'll be posting. Like Aaron and I, like Aaron has been working right now. He's in school and stuff. We've been going out just like sunrise to like 11 and smacking like 26 pounds.
Can't
So
argue
like,
with that.
yeah, and the bite dies. So like, if we have stuff to do, right?
Yeah, and well, it always dies around 11 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. let me see. I got a couple notes here. All right. So here's a good one.
Yeah.
If I said you can catch your PB today,
Okay.
okay, what do you want it to be on? Would you pick a bait like where you're like, I'm going to catch my PB, so it might as well be on?
So any
Like-
bait I want, or the bait that would most likely catch me my
No,
PB?
not you can pick it. It could come on a tiny Meps, inline spinner if you want. I'm just saying you're going to get your 8. You're going to get your 8, but you get to pick the bait it comes on. Like, so like when you take that picture,
I would love to feel an 8-pounder smack a glide bait, or like a rat, or just explode on a rat or something like that, or like on top.
So there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Something with treble hooks though, so I don't lose it.
Yeah, but you and treble hooks,
not the best of luck with them either.
Not the best mix.
Actually, this year I got pinned by a tube head.
Well, I know, but you're like a hook keeper, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they
just go everywhere.
They find your feet. If I ever lose lures, I'm just gonna have you walk barefoot.
And my nails.
But I'll just have you walk barefoot in that part of the lake. I'll be like, Isabella, go find it with your foot. And one other, general tackle question.
Okay.
If you can only grab one combo and the rest.
That's a question.
Yeah. You could just grab one and it's like, one. Yep.
See, that's the thing. Do I go spinning or do I go bait casting now?
Oh.
Huh.
You just can grab one for the day.
Just can grab one.
And you're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah, I would definitely go baitcaster. Then I think. I'd go with my 7.2 medium heavy Zodius.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the medium Zodius is sort
medium
of
heavy.
Right, but the medium sort of the famous rhythm wave combo.
Yeah, but the thing with the medium heavy, I can check a rhythm wave on a heavier head, but I can also throw a jig on it, right?
Yeah, you can throw everything on it.
I would do that paired up with either straight 14-pound fluoro or like 40-pound braid Power Pro to a leader. I use a lot of braid to leader, like on most of my stuff.
I know you do, yeah. Digital reel or MGL reel?
Titanium MGL.
Yeah, I'm going to say MGL gives you a little more versatility.
I like the DC a lot, but
I do too. But I find that the MGLs throw a wider spectrum. Like I think the DCs start to struggle when you get down into the really lightweight lures. Like the DCs are good for like standard bass lures. Yeah. Nothing can touch them.
Yeah.
But the MGL just opens up the spectrum.
It depends what line you're throwing. I don't know if I'm going to be checking a tiny bait on like 14-pound fluorocarbon, but like, yeah. I'd go with that.
Cool. Thanks for answering. All right. So now we're into the deep dive. Okay. So this is the meat of it.
Okay.
Do you have a greatest victory on the water so far? Like your proudest moment as an angler?
Oh, wow.
You have one, and it could just be something about your career as Ladybass. It doesn't necessarily have to be a specific moment on the water, but it could be.
I'm definitely drawing a blank right now.
Okay. You could skip it.
I don't know. I would say maybe that day that I went out jigging with a glide bait.
Okay.
It's so out of the box.
That's it. Right. It's out of the box and it's a victory and the result.
And I caught my PB 2 times.
Right. And you had so there.
Yeah, there you go. We'll go with that.
There you go.
I'm sure there's something a little bit more rewarding I could probably think of, but
it wasn't set up that way.
Yeah.
If you could is there one cast in your life that you'd like to take back? Like a cast, like literally like one cast where you made a major error or you lost a major bait. It could be either.
Oh yeah,
I know
I have one.
Mine.
I got one.
I have mine. I know one cast. It was from 1993. I know a cast that I want back because I know I could get it right and I would have gotten a monster. Yeah. But that's another story for another day. Do you have a cast?
I got two. I got two. I got one when I first started fishing a jig. Like this was like a fair bit while ago. I was in like a red tin boat, a 14-foot tin boat, and I had this Strike King jig that I bought, right? And my very first jig ever. It was like green pumpkin, black, had some yellow or chartreuse in it.
Okay.
And I casted it under a dock. And I didn't know there was a chain there. And I never saw that jig again. It'd be cool to get that jig back just for keepsakes.
Just to have your first jig.
Just to have that jig back.
Do you know where that dock is?
Yeah. It's probably still in there.
Just go stick a bare foot down there.
It's like 25 feet deep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not getting it back.
Get a snorkel, go down there, and then just make sure you put your feet on the bottom, and eventually.
And then I'll eventually stick myself with a jig. Yep. Another one was this September. Actually, I screwed it up bad. I was fishing a glide bait. I casted it towards a MILF patch, and I was fishing it outwards, and I had this fish just like come from the side. I have it on video. I got it on my GoPro too. I had this fish come from the side. Absolute like tank, like it was.
You saw like the side shine of it.
Yeah,
too.
It was a tank. It would have been my biggest swim bait fish of the year.
All right.
And I screwed up. Like I pulled, like he missed it, and instead of letting my glide bait sit there, I kind of lost my shit a little bit.
Spazzed.
Yeah, I froze and I reeled it up.
Yeah.
So. And I went back there a couple of times, didn't see that.
Right.
Again,
that's what I was talking about. You kind of want it back. It's almost sometimes it's a disadvantage to see the fish swipe at it sometimes because
I went through that footage and I'm like, he just totally missed. He went in front of it. He went for the head and he just totally missed.
So what'd you learn from it? Anything?
To keep my cool.
Keep your cool and just let it sit there a little longer. Would you cooked it in that spot a little longer?
I don't know if he would have come back.
Right.
But there was a higher chance of him coming back if I left my bait there and kind of worked it in place a little bit rather than pulling it away from the strike zone, right?
Right. All right. So you learned something.
Yeah.
All right. Isabella, your greatest attribute as an angler. What do you think? Like if you have an edge versus other people, okay, doesn't mean you're better. We're not. So don't worry about that. I'm just saying like, what do you think is one of your good attributes as an angler? Your best, like what helps you?
I think it's a double-edged sword, but maybe my openness to try different things.
That's good for angling. I mean, but
at the same time, I'm throwing like ridiculous like Carolina rigs with glide baits on them at the same time, not getting bit. You know what I mean? But
no. Okay, so your greatest attribute is you're willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Try new stuff.
Yeah, Aaron sometimes buys me the most ridiculous things. We go on the water and we just smash them, right? So
right. All right. Yeah. And do you have like is there an area of your angling that you think is your greatest weakness?
Yeah. I would say like targeting shallow smallmouth.
Okay.
I got like the deep thing pretty okay. Like I'm good with my graphs. But like sometimes the shallow smallmouth, I just can't really figure them out. I don't really know when they're up there, and I don't know why they're up there in a lot of scenarios if there isn't like bait or craws up there. And just targeting them, I guess. Maybe it's a little bit of my stubbornness, which is probably another little drawback of my fishing.
Okay,
because
so
I like to catch fish. A lot of times I like to catch fish in a way that I want to catch fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if the smallmouth are shallow, if I have it in my mind that I want to go catch deep fish, I'm going to go try to catch deep fish. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think targeting shallow. I don't know if it's because I spooked them too much or something like that with the boat.
That's what I was going to ask you. Well, first of all, usually they're in clear water and they seem to be a little smarter than their larger mouth brothers. Yeah. You know, like I don't know. It's like they see you a little better, or
I think they're a little bit more weary.
Yeah. And I feel like when they look at a bait, they look at it a little different.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I had a lot of instances this year where like Lake Simcoe, one of the biggest freshwater lakes here in Ontario. I spent a lot of time on it. A lot of big smallmouth. I had a lot of instances this year where I knew there was fish there because like I was there the day before and I caught fish there and I knew there's fish there and I just can't get them to bite. it can also be the pressure. And of course, we got live scope now. I don't,
Nice.
but like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So it might be the pressure a little bit because I've never had it like this, like I did this year. This year was just horrible for shallow smallmouth for me.
Yeah.
Like it was brutal.
Yeah, my
I
spots
think
were
I was
all-
just I think I was spooking them, to be honest with you.
my spots were all burned out.
Yeah.
I think because of the pandemic, people like I saw signs of people in places where I've never seen other people fishing at my
Wow.
smallmouth spots.
Yeah.
People, there were like lawn chairs permanently set up on the bank in places that I had to hike to that I've never seen people there in
Yeah,
20
a
years of
lot of-
fishing there. So it's really weird what happened. But I would say for me, for shallow
Yeah.
smallmouth, clear water, what's always worked for me, like what I can trigger a bite with like a 70 size duo Realis jerk bait,
Bait, yeah.
like in a ghost, you know,
Yeah, that's the thing. I had a lot
right
of
in
them.
their
I
face.
had my personal best literally follow me to
Dude,
the boat. I have it
they
on
get
video. Follow me to
mad.
the boat and just turn around. At that point, that's my fault though,
Yeah.
because I didn't give us enough distance.
Yeah, I guess there's maybe a longer cast and
Yeah.
just and yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah.
that's how we learn.
That's how. Yeah. Hopefully next year isn't that much of a headache for me.
All right. Well, Isabella, guess what? I know you were afraid that I was going to embarrass you in some way, but you made it to the end. So this
wow.
this is what I call last cast. Now,
Okay.
like your last cast, it's not really one. It's usually like three things, right? Nobody
I
has
love the
like
trailer
one.
in the dark.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
no such thing as really a last cast. But if you were could go back in time and tell Isabella
Okay.
starting out, so Ladybass is starting out, is there like one key thing you would go back at, a piece of knowledge you would drop on yourself, from I guess 6 or 7 years ago? I don't know how long ago, but like one little tidbit you'd like wish you could have told the
My younger self.
14-year-old Isabella.
I would say a lot of my earlier fishing days, I just kind of fished one area. I didn't really expand too much. And I feel like
Okay.
if I expanded in my earlier years, like I don't get me wrong, I tried a lot. Like YouTube was the juice back then.
Yeah.
Master posted a jig video. I went out and bought jigs
Yeah.
and tried jig fishing, right? So like
Right.
I definitely did a good job in my earlier years trying different stuff, but I wish I tried different like bodies of water almost. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah,
Like I
just-
wish like because I fished a lot of deeper, clear lakes. I wish I went to like a marshy lake and tried figuring that out earlier. You know what I
Okay,
mean? Or tried
right.
going to like a limestone lake and tried figuring that out earlier.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's great though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you'd go back and tell yourself. Just
Yeah.
do a little bit more diverse environments.
Exactly.
Out of the gate.
Exactly.
All right. Do you have a beef with fishing right now? Do you have like one big beef with the industry as a whole right now?
No, not
Okay.
really. I
Right.
don't
Yeah,
really.
because some people would say like a lot of companies seem to be like copycatting each other and not really like innovating as much. Like they've kind of taken off the last year. And they're just gonna-
Yeah, honestly,
if you don't have
my
any-
answer to that is like, what else are they gonna make? Like,
yeah,
I have no problem with people taking an idea and making it better.
yeah,
I have no problem with that.
Yep.
There are some instances where I've seen in the fishing industry where people take something and make it worse or just don't change it at all.
yeah.
That I don't like. But if
There's
you're
a
going
lot
to
of-
take an idea and make it
Yeah.
better,
There's a lot of
you.
worse too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something comes out with like stiff plastic. All right. So really this is probably the most important one.
Okay.
What's fishing do for your soul?
It's a very good question, actually. I've been in school for like ever, and you
Mhm.
know me. If you guys don't know me,
Yeah.
right? We're like Duda said, I just work. Like
You
I'm
do.
always studying when I'm in school. I'm pulling my hair out in the library, pretty much.
You're hard
Um,
on yourself.
I am hard on myself because I want to be the best I can be, right?
Yep.
And fishing, although I want to be the best I can be in fishing as well, fishing gives me the opportunity to kind of take a step back from all of that,
Mhm.
all of my goals, I guess, in my career and all that, take a step back from that and just kind of enjoy the day. And like, I really, really enjoy the whole problem solving aspect of fishing.
Yes.
And I really, really enjoy that there's no, if I don't solve the problem that day, there's no like negatives. There's no, it's not going to screw me over in the end.
It's the mystery. It's what I love about
Yeah.
it. It's the puzzle.
I like the puzzle.
It's Where's Waldo? It's all those things that appeal to us. It's figuring it out.
And I like, yeah, exactly.
Good job, Isabella. So last thing, is there something coming up next we should know about? Or something us to keep an eye out for?
Well, we're kind of approaching the end of the season here for bass, unfortunately. Bass close end of November, for me, early December.
Is there an official day?
Yeah, it's November 30th in some areas and December something in other areas.
Ooh.
I know. I usually don't make it that long anyways because I have to winterize my boat.
Yeah, it's not like it's even like that much easier to catch them in winter.
No.
If you're going to close, just close during the spawn for a month.
Exactly.
Keep it open in the winter because who's going to go out? Especially in Canada, it's
ice fishing though. A lot of people would target them ice fishing.
Oh my God. Yeah. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have that. I have a bunch of videos coming out still. And I got a couple of trips planned for this winter, next spring to some pretty crazy destinations. So hopefully that works out.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you guys off to today? You got a bunch of stuff on your plate or just school?
Yeah, I have some essays I got to write, which is.
Dude, it never ends with you.
No.
There's going to be something else too. There's going to be some other schooling. I can see it coming. That's the goal. So I got some essays to do and I got some tackle I have to go up to the tackle shop actually. So you're going to go tackle shopping today?
I got to get one thing. Yeah.
Dude. All right. We'll take us shopping. Make a video. Take us shopping. We always like gear. All right, Isabella. Thanks, homie.
Thanks for having me on.
It's good seeing you.
Yeah.
All right. Tell Aaron I said hi. Have an awesome day. All right.
Perfect. Thank you for having me on. It was a great chat.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Isabella. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.